welcome to my Goomba Chief, my friend, the next mayor of New York City, Mr. Curtis Sliwa!
I want to thank Gavin Wax and the Young Republicans for bringing us all together. There are Democrats, there are Republicans, there are independents in this crowd, all of who are united around the concept of freedom. Freedom of choice. Freedom. That's what has assembled us here today. And Gavin, I'm glad you brought up Gracie Mansion, because as you know, I not only need to be there to save our city and to let people have individual rights and freedom and not the boot crushing the life out of our economic system, your ability to raise your families, your ability to choose. But as you know, I need it as a sanctuary for all the dogs and cats that we kill in the shelters in New York City, because we're going to have no-kill shelters. But I also represent unions that are here today. Unions for choice. Many of you may not be aware, I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, have been a member of SAG-AFTRA proudly for 30 years, for broadcasting on WABC and talk radio. And what has happened now is that the unions have been told, doesn't matter if they represent municipal unions, doesn't matter if they represent county or state unions, or federal workers, or in the private sector. They have been told that as of now, especially with Comrade Bill de Blasio, the part-time mayor, the dope from Park Slope, imposing the first mandate in America as of tomorrow, with no explanations of how he's going to enforce it. He claims, wait till September 13th. Notice, ironically, once school is supposed to be back into session, although we begin to wonder, the unions have been told that if your membership has a vaccine, they'll be able to work. If they don't have a vaccine, either because their religious persuasion deems that they not have a vaccine, or their medical condition deems that they not have a vaccine, or as Americans of choice, they're not sure of the vaccine because it's not even FDA approved. Instead they'll be swabbed once a week. But we know whether it's Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson that gets the first FDA approval, it'll no longer be choice in the workforce. They'll tell you, you either get vaccinated or you're fired. Or stay home. Don't show up at work. And who does that hurt? All the working class men and women who've been forced out of their jobs during the pandemic, but especially people of color, black people, Hispanic people who have a lower vaccination rate. I think we all can agree here. We'd like to see people vaccinated. If they want to get vaccinated, make it available. We want to pass herd immunity at 70%. We're well on our way to getting 80% of our citizens vaccinated. And the city is offering $100 and all kinds of tchotchkes. The private sector is offering $1,000 or more. There are no needs for these mandates. The mandates are specifically meant to keep people like de Blasio in power, the city council in power, so that they can dictate what we do in our lives and also for our children. And let me finish on this note. We know that finally we've been told public school will be back in session after a year and a half of destroying the academic life of our children, forcing them to stay at home because they told us it wasn't safe in the classroom for the teachers and the children. Although to their credit, the parochial schools and religious schools proved them wrong. They proved them wrong. And now we hear that there are rumblings that maybe there won't be in-school training. Maybe it'll have to be virtual. Maybe people will have to be at home. That's not what we were promised. We were promised if you take the vaccine, de Blasio said it, you won't have to wear a mask. Remember that? Yeah. They promised that. The president promised it. Fauci promised it. They've gone back on their promise. Why should we trust them with anything else that they say? So I suggest to all of you, we put aside our political differences. Republicans, conservatives, Democrats, liberals, progressives, independents, libertarians, and join together in solidarity, because we are America, the land of the free, where choice is given to the citizens. We trust the people, not the politicians. We trust the people, not the politicians. We trust the people, not the politicians. Thank you very much.